They must, in people's life, there is generally a turning, there's a moment which shifts which pivot, where people pivot and move into this sphere. But For years, we have grown up seeing your movies. We have been inspired by your movies. What happened, why it happened, some narration, why you are so compassionate, why you are so focused towards the society. There has to be some movement, something we want to hear from your mouth, your words, your emotions. And you can narrate it best because you guys are filmmakers. So please sir, you can, there are mics in front of you, you can use the mic.
Before my father speaks, I'll just say that मेरा तो genetic flaw है, इनसे मैंने inherit कर लिया ये. Empathy, compassion is my inheritance from this man sitting right next to me. Now, Mike, over to you.
I read a line from a very famous playwright called Tennessee Williams. The line was, "The kindness of strangers." This world lives on the kindness of strangers. आज देखो ये एक माहौल जो है यहाँ पर, I see this is an oasis of kindness, empathy. It's a dark times, very dark times. But in these very dark times, what we must never kneel down to is that cynical view that only evil and the brute force survives. No. It is kindness that will see us through. It is kindness that has helped so many of them to reach up onto the dais and get applauded and honored. I think the lifeblood of existence is kindness. In this dog-eat-dog world, where success is measured by how high you reach up on the ladder. It's very important to see this man who has touched the deepest. It doesn't have to be there in the limelight where the arc lights are there and the cameras are flashing. There are people who do things tirelessly without themselves knowing that the right hand is giving when the left, about the existence of the other hand. That's what this person is a living embodiment of. When Pooja was a big star in her 20s, she had back-to-back hits. She had Daddy, she had Dil Ke Maanani, she had Sarthak. The generation now will not know. But those who are here must have seen those movies. She one day came and told me that she wanted to make a film called Tamanna, which was not a commercial film. It was a film of a girl child who was picked up from the streets of Mahesh by a transgender character called Tiku. And how that individual protected that girl child and shaped her into a young woman. And today she is on her own 2 feet, somewhere in Mahesh, working in a beauty salon. Pooja could have made a film which was the run-of-the-mill film which cuts you off from the realities of the world, numbs you, and forces you to escape from the harsh, brutal truths of life. She said no, she's decided to wake up. She said no, this is the first film I want to make. The film did not set the box office ablaze, but it did get a national award, but that is not important. But मुझे याद है कि सालों बाद जब मैं राजस्थान गया था for crusading against the barbaric tradition of capital punishment, I met a young lady who used to work in the interiors of Rajasthan, where there was this practice, an epidemic of girl child being endangered, where they were either killed before they were born or after they were born. And she said, do you know I have a toolkit? And in that toolkit we have the DVD of your daughter's film. tamanna. And that becomes the inspirational tool to tell stories to those people, to sensitize them about the importance of the girl child. And that was the day I felt Pooja had touched the deepest. That is very important. I think the most important thing for us to understand is the best of minds are being recruited by the powers who make war tools. The best of minds are serving there in the war industries. If those minds were serving the humankind to make the world a little better like he is doing, this world would turn into a paradise. I think it's very important that we choose that on this planet Earth, where we are all given a limited number of time, which you can't rewind, cannot extend, how do you want to use that time? Do you want to accumulate, climb higher, and sit down there empty? Or you want to touch life deepest, where you empower, enable. And the only purpose of a human existence is to empower his fellow human being. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It doesn't add up to anything. So this is what I discovered when I was growing up. Because as they say, my lamp was lit by another. कोई था जिसने मेरा हाथ थाम कर मुझे खड़ा किया, संभाला। जब मैं गिरा तो कहा कि नहीं, तुम फिर उठोगे। And then I can only give what I have learned. And I think we have one of the most sparkling examples of what human kindness does, and that is Dr. Agarwal. Thank you, Dr. Agarwal. May the world have more people like you. And I'm certain that the darkness which is all pervasive will tear through it, because ultimately it is human kindness that triumphs. I have no doubt about it. Thank you.
This actually reminds me that Sanatan stands on only 4 pillars: Dan, Daya, Dharma or Satya. And you absolutely resonated with it. Thank you so much. Pooja ji, I'm not gonna let you go without answering. We have, so Dil Hai Ki Manta Nahi is like legendary, right? As in, when you are growing up, it's a movie you cannot miss.
Dil ab bhi nahi manta.
So my question to you, you have made such phenomenal movies, right? Sarthak, which is the favorite movie of yours which you made, you acted, and why? The more important is why. Please. This is offbeat, this is not off, this is not a question which you would have thought in a social gathering, but
I think दो फिल्म तो मेरे obituary में mention होंगे definitely. दिल है कि मानता नहीं is inescapable, but I think कि मेरी पहली फिल्म Daddy, जब मैं 17 साल की थी in 1989, a story about a girl who weans her father off drinking. It dealt with alcoholism. एक semi autobiographical फिल्म थी, और ironically कल परसों भट्ट साहब मुझे बोल रहे थे कि जहाँ पे मैंने अपना पहला शॉट दिया था डैडी के लिए फिल्म स्टार स्टूडियोज, इट्स नो मोर, वो बिक चुका है टू अ बिल्डर और अभी वहाँ पे लग्जरी अपार्टमेंट्स बनने वाले हैं, मगर मेरे मेमोरीज हमेशा वहीं पे वो स्टूडियो लॉट के साथ जुड़े रहेंगे। तो आई थिंक डैडी मेरी पहली फिल्म, क्योंकि भट्टा ने मुझे पूछा था कि व्हाट डू यू वांट द वर्ल्ड टू नो यू एज, यू वांट टू बी अ स्टार और यू वांट टू बी एन एक्टर। ऐसे नहीं, मुझे एक्टिंग सीखनी है, मैं चाहती हूँ कि लोग बोले कि अंदर कोई बात है, not outward dazzle. And I think the last film जो उन्होंने बनाई थी ज़ख्म, वो मेरी फेरी फिल्म है। मैं डर रही थी वो फिल्म करने के लिए, मैंने कोशिश की कि भट्ट साहब रेवती को कास्ट कर ले या किसी और को, he said no, I want you to play that role. तो I think Daddy और ज़ख्म and of course Tamanna in between are movies that meant a lot to me.
phenomenal.
और ज़ख्म आज के दौर में ज़्यादा relevant है, कुछ बदला नहीं है। In fact, things have become far worse. Like he said, we live in dark times, तो एक दूसरे का हाथ थामना बहुत ज़रूरी है।
We keep talking about disability and we keep talking about that these 21 disabilities have been recognized by the government and there are 7 to 8% people in this country who are suffering. But rest 90 to 93% people, are they sane? So the question which nobody talks about is not ID challenges, but mental challenges, right? Everybody goes through some kind of a trauma, some kind of challenges, and it's not by birth. It's the external environment which they think is actually benefiting them, puts them down suddenly. So I want to talk a little bit about you, your experience, your thoughts, and Mahesh, you are a legendary guy, so because you have more experience than maybe half of this room collectively put together. So some words from you as well. Pooja ji.
मुझे याद है जब हम पहली बार डॉक्टर अग्रवाल को मिले थे और I'll never forget what he said. He said, "Thank God that I lost my eyesight." And I was so struck by that because I think that sometimes जो हम challenges समझते हैं और जो हमारी खामियां समझते हैं, those actually become our greatest strengths. जैसे डैडी की बात हो रही थी, मुझे याद है जब भी हम फाइनल पे आए थे, डबिंग की बात हो रही थी और बहुत बड़ा चर्चा चल रहा था डबिंग स्टूडियो में कि पूजा की आवाज़ जो है थोड़ी हस्की है, नॉर्मल हीरोइन की आवाज़ थोड़ी मतलब फेमिनिन टाइप की फॉल्सेटो होती है, तो कि डब कर लें या ऐसे उनको उनकी आवाज़ यूज कर लें। भट्ट साहब आए थे, उन्होंने कहा था कि नो, इधर दुनिया उसे जैसी वो है एक्सेप्ट करे या जैसी वो है रिजेक्ट करे। आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू काइंड ऑफ present some false version of her. So I think that is something I carry with me, and I think कि आज इस मंच पे जो भी हम AI के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं और perfection, दुनिया perfection में इतनी घुसी हुई है, we've lost the rough edges of life. I think इस मंच पे जो मैंने महसूस किया, people walking up, the love, that last selfie जो मैंने लिया है, मैंने ऐसे selfie life में नहीं ली है. It will be the most precious selfie for me for the rest of my life. So I think, thank God for our imperfections. Thank God for the fact that we do not fit into the supposed standards of the world that is emotionally crippled. There's so much love in this room. There's so much of kind of flight in this room. And I think the world needs more of that. The world needs more of that. So I think that I've always been taught to embrace your frailties, embrace your imperfections, because वो imperfections ही आपको define करते हैं.
तो पूजा जी ने एक बहुत उपयुक्त बात कही. उन्होंने कहा, आप जैसे हैं, पूर्ण हैं, संपूर्ण हैं, embrace it. Because if you'll keep running away from it, nobody will accept you. First, accept who you are, without putting any facade. कोई ग्लास व्हील की आवश्यकता नहीं है. आप जो हैं उसको ही दर्शाइए. And when people will start accepting that, you have given actually a mantra for people with mind problems, emotional problems. Because biggest challenge is people want to fit in. They fit in where? Absolutely.
What is society? You are society, I am society. We all who decides, who makes the rules. So my point is, make your own rules. Just be yourself, dare to be you. That's all I've always been taught by my father. Is there is a higher power that has made you unique. There is only one you on the entire planet. Just celebrate that. Celebrate it, unashamedly celebrate it. Because I've seen too many supposedly perfect people on the outside who are, like I said, are absolutely broken on the inside. Who wants that kind of outwardly perfection? I don't. So thank you, Papa, for freeing me and not dubbing my voice in Daddy and saying that either the world rejects you or the world accepts you, and the world was so kind. They accepted me. आज मेरी आवाज़ मेरी पहचान.
Big round of applause for the legendary Pooja Bhatt.
That's it. चेहरा मुरझाता रहेगा. We'll all age, all our bodies will change, but मेरी आवाज़ मेरी पहचान है, and I'm very grateful that my father didn't change it then. Don't try to stifle it through the last 53 years.
But sir, your views, please, on the challenges which the society is facing in terms of showing the facade. We spoke about that 7-8% people are persons with disability, they are categorized, but 92% of the people, some point in time, feel very isolated, lonely, and they have more mental challenges than persons with disability. So, your thoughts, your ideas, and you had, so Pooja ji spoke about some challenges in your life. How did you overcome them? So, some lessons, some wisdom which we can take away and which can remain after 100 years when we all are gone.
Well, I can't claim to be in possession of some mantra which will really be like a magic wand. I'm a fumbling, stumbling person. I'm 76, I'll be 77 soon. If you think I've arrived at some great vantage point in life from where I can see everything, I'm here now with you, as disabled and as simply ordinary yet extraordinary, like everybody else who came up here and took the award from Pooja. I feel that the only thing that we need to do is, as Pooja rightly said, to acknowledge one truth, that to yourself first, that there's nobody like you, there never was, there never will be. No wonder no two people's fingerprints are the same. No two leaves are the same. No snowflakes are the same. You are the most unique creation. Yes, in the human jungle which we have created, we have standards of perfection where marketers come and sell you wares to say, you are imperfect, now I will make you perfect. So fall at my feet, lick my feet, pay me money and I'll take you there. Where? First of all, that person himself is not there where he claims to be. He's just posturing. There's a great senior actor of ours, Dharmendra, who once said to me recently, अजीब दुनिया हो गई है, सब अच्छा दिखना चाहते हैं, कोई अच्छा बनना नहीं चाहता. So it's all about appearances. So, but when you fool the world with your appearances, when you come back home and you put your head on the pillow and before night descends and engulfs you into sleep, you have to face who you are. That's where the reality is. So if the gap between what you pretend and what you actually are is big, then you're behind it. So I rather be as real as I am and be accepted or rejected. That's your privilege. But this is my life, one life. I can't get an extension, I can't rewind. I will live it on my own terms. Period, full stop, full period.
Thank you, Bhatt sahab. Pooja ji, one sentence for persons with disability, one motivational thing which you want to send a message not only in PWDs in Bharat but across the world.
Like I said earlier, and I'll say it again, is that who decides what disability is or who's disabled? And I think that my father rightly said, Ajay, you were reminding me, when you all went to the corporate offices, he says that you think the disability does not lie with there, it lies with us who can't see them, can't be inclusive and can't see the special gifts that they have been accorded with. So I think that I just reiterate that in this world of perfection, outwardly perfection, we've lost soul. I felt more soul in this room this morning. It's my mother's birthday, she turned 75 today, but I still can't imagine a better morning because what I felt when I held the hands of all the people who came, and Pune, Khub Chana, Pune did really well. I felt so much emotion through each person who came and took their medal from me, said thank you to me. There was far more eloquence there. There was far more feeling there. And that's what life is about, So that's my message. It's just come out, touch each other, We live in times where बोलते हैं कि connectivity हो गया ऐसे, but ये connectivity ने दूरियां बढ़ा दी है. We don't touch each other, we don't reach each other's hearts, we don't see each other, and I think that this gives me the chance to come here and feel emotion, which is largely lacking in the world today. So that's it, yeah. You guys are doing amazingly. Just keep at it, and thank you, Dr. Agarwal, for first of all opening my eyes by saying that thank God took my eyesight away, because so much has been achieved. And he smells the flowers.
A rose is a rose is a rose. It doesn't care if it's not like the other flower in the bouquet.
Pooja ji, final one word or one motivation for Sarthak. It has completed 17-18 years of journey, so that it thrives for next 100 years. Some words of motivation.
Well, I don't want to give any words. मैंने अजय जी को कोविड के दौरान मेरी पहली फिल्म डैडी जो है, भट्ट साहब 50% ओनर थे उस नेगेटिव के, along with दूरदर्शन, उन्होंने मुझे गिफ्ट कर दी, तो मेरा हो गया. मैंने अजय जी को कहा कि मेरा 50% मैं सार्थक को दूंगी, because I would want that money to be generated for the good work that you all do. अजय जी ने हाँ कह दिया, मगर किसी ने एक्ट ही नहीं किया. अगर मैंने फिल्म इंडस्ट्री के किसी को दिया होता, I would have been monetized. So I'm reiterating that 50% share of Daddy, my most special film, जो जब मैं मर जाऊंगी मेरे obituary में Daddy mention होगा. I want Daddy to be of use and be a tool that both of us contribute to Sarthak, because it will make money. And अभी दूरदर्शन ने Waves भी launch किया है, तो वो दिखा रहे हैं Daddy, और हर बार वो दिखाएंगे उसका 50% share सार्थक को जाएगा जिंदगी भर. And beyond us, beyond Dr. Agarwal, beyond Pooja Bhatt, beyond Mahesh, but that will keep getting generated. So words, no, action.
Thank you, very
Now, Ajay ji, ball is in your court. You have to go there and sit on Dave's head and get the check so it can go into Sarthak's bank.
Bhatt sahab, some words from your side towards Sarthak, please. Any words?
I think what you just said is, when you don't want to act, you think, act. Like the Chinese saying is that thinking does not cook rice. So, if you want to empower, you need to have push to empower. You need money to empower. So, money is available. She wants to share that 50% that she owns, which is shared by Doordarshan, national broadcaster, with Sarthak. So, I think that is what there should be a focus of Ajay ji and Dr. Agarwal to knock at the doors of Doordarshan, and through that bureaucracy pull out that rightful share of Pooja which she has now gifted to Sarthak, and use that as fuel to make these gorgeous events glitter.
Pooja ji has made herself immortal. Because as long as Divyanta will be there, Sarthak will be there, and Daddy's contribution will be there.
Yeah, and like Daddy helped me find my voice, I want others to find their voice, and I want Daddy to contribute to that forever. Now, if you don't act, Ajay ji.
3 questions only from the audience. Any 3 questions? Anyone who wants to ask any questions to Ms. Bhatt and Mr. Bhatt, please.
अगर मैं गाना गा सकती थी ना, I would rule the world. I would rule the world. ऊपर वाला सोच समझ के देता है आपको टैलेंट, ज़्यादा भी नहीं देता है. If I could sing, I would have been obnoxious. He can sing.
Yesterday, the man who's composed the song for his birthday, and in fact, MM3 Filmmaking. So in fact, every Chandra on Eid, that song echoes all over the world. So I said, all it requires is one tune, one melody. It brings millions of people together. So it just happened. So you want you. आप गाइए ना, आपको अच्छा गाती हैं।
सुमन जी आप गाइए, सब जुगलबंदी करेंगे। गाइए गाइए, शुरू कीजिए, आप शुरू कीजिए। जब माहौल बन रहा है तो बनने दीजिए। जोर से। Fantastic. What's up? You want to add?
जाने कितने दिन के बाद गली में आचा निकला, गली में आचा निकला, तुम आए तो आया मुझे याद, गली में आचा निकला।
वाह, beautiful.
जो सार्थक जो कर रही है वो एक अपने आप में एक मिरेकल है कि आज की तारीख में जहाँ अंधेरा दुश्मन पड़ा हुआ है, ये हमारे अंदर एक उम्मीद की चिंगारी जगाती है और ये कहती है कि अल्टीमेटली इंसान की काइंडनेस पे ही इन्वेस्टमेंट है और जिसको आप डिसेबल्ड समझते हैं वो डिसेबल्ड नहीं है, डिसेबल्ड आप हैं, क्योंकि आपके अंदर वो क्षमता है नहीं कि आप उनकी काबिलियत है। बिल्कुल जैसे डॉक्टर अग्रवाल साहब ने उनका हाथ थामा और वो आज इस योग्य हुए कि यहाँ पर मंच पर आकर पूजा जी से वो अपना डिप्लोमा या अवार्ड दे सकें। इसी तरह से अगर हर व्यक्ति को ये लगे कि अपना पड़ोसी जो है जिसको वो अधूरा समझते हैं, चैलेंज समझते हैं, उसको देखें, एक बार देख लें उसको और उसकी आँखों में झाँक कर ये महसूस करें कि उसके अंदर भी वो सारी प्यास जिंदा है जो उसके हमारे अंदर है और फिर उसका हाथ थाम कर उसे 2 कदम चलाएं। सार्थक वही कर रही है और हर समाज जो है, जो सभ्य समाज होता है, उसका कर्तव्य वो होता है कि वो अपने से कमज़ोर व्यक्ति को एम्पावर करे। सार्थक जैसी संस्थाएं बहुत ज़रूरी हैं। मैं डॉक्टर अग्रवाल के सलाम करता हूँ, तो दिल से उनका शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ कि उन्होंने ये चिंगारी दिखाई जो आज एक ब्लेज में कन्वर्ट हो गया।
पूजा जी आप क्या कहना चाहिए 2017 से आप लोगों का?
जी 2017 में जो उनका परफॉर्मेंस था एट द एबिलिम्पिक्स, आई मीन इट वाज अ बाउंटी। तो आई थिंक कि मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रही हूँ कि इस बार और भी मेडल्स लेके आए और कुछ नहीं तो जरा गस्टों से, दिल से तारीफ़ तो कर लीजिए, ताली तो मार दीजिए, क्योंकि उसी चीज़ के लिए तो हम जीते हैं ना। थोड़ा बहुत अप्रिसिएशन चाहते हैं। आज तो सेल्फी का ज़माना आ गया है, पीपल लाइक्स डिसलाइक्स, एवरीबडी वांट्स टू बी सीन एंड हर्ड, जैसे भट्ट साहब ने कहा। तो इट्स अ मिरेकल जो डॉक्टर अग्रवाल कर रहे हैं और मैं कभी भूलूंगी नहीं ज़िंदगी में जो उन्होंने मुझे कहा था जब पहली बार हम मिले थे कि थैंक गॉड कि ऊपर वाले ने मेरी आईसाइट ले ली। सो आई थिंक कि अगर हम हमारे फ्लॉज को, हमारे सपोजिड डिसेबिलिटीज़ को हमारी एबिलिटीज़ समझने लगेंगे तो आई थिंक द वर्ल्ड कुड बी अ डिफरेंट प्लेस टू लिव इन। सो ऑल द बेस्ट टू ऑल द पीपल। मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रही हूँ कि पिछली बार जो हॉल था मेडल्स का, उससे बढ़कर उससे ज़्यादा मेडल्स वो घर ले आएँ ताकि हम और भी गस्टों के साथ आके नेक्स्ट टाइम उनको चीयर कर सकें।
मैम सार्थक ये भी इनिशिएटिव ले रहा है कि जो डिफरेंटली एबल्ड हैं उनको जॉब भी मिले, बहुत सारी कंपनियां भी यहाँ पर आने वाली हैं। आपका भी खुद का प्रोडक्शन हाउस है, क्या उसमें भी हम इन लोगों को देखेंगे कि आप हायर करते हुए या फिर कुछ?
जी मैं इस वक्त मेरे प्लान्स थोड़े ज़िंदगी ने चेंज कर लिए हैं, क्योंकि मैं प्रोड्यूसर हूँ, प्रोडक्शन हाउस है, मगर जैसे मैंने अपने आप को कहा था कि वो एक्टिंग की जो एक दरवाज़ा है वो बंद हो चुका है, ज़िंदगी मुझे वहीं ले गई वापस। तो इस टाइम पे आई एम नॉट प्रोड्यूसिंग एनीथिंग, मगर मैं अपने पॉडकास्ट शुरू कर रही हूँ और मैं एन एक्टिव एक्टर हूँ। मगर इसलिए मैंने इस मंच से जो मेरी पहली फिल्म थी, मोस्ट स्पेशल फिल्म ऑफ माई लाइफ, डैडी, जो मैं एक 50% शेयर होल्डर हूँ दूरदर्शन के साथ, नाउ वेव्स के साथ में, मैंने वो कमिट कर दी टू सार्थक, क्योंकि जैसे मुझे अपनी पहचान और मेरी आवाज़, खुद की आवाज़ डैडी के थ्रू मिली थी, मैं चाहती हूँ कि बाकी लोगों को जो सार्थक के साथ जुड़ते हैं उनको भी कहीं ना कहीं उनकी पहचान और उनकी आवाज़ उस फिल्म के थ्रू मिले। इससे ज़्यादा एट दिस पॉइंट दैट्स ऑल आई कैन कमिट।
अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट मैम, रामायण का पोस्टर और टीजर लॉन्च हो चुका है, आपको कैसा लगा उस बारे में कुछ कहना चाहिए?
सार्थक सार्थक सार्थक, बस और कुछ बातें नहीं होगी।